Hey, today I'm going to talk a little bit about the backlash of comments about the PlayStation Classic list. And people are actually defending Sony. And like, we don't have a right to be angry at this list. How could you defend Sony? I mean, look, I've seen stuff on Instagram, on Twitter about, like, I've seen the Dawson's Creek crying meme, you know, with that little guy who's crying because he said the PlayStation Classic games aren't good enough. But look, we have a right to be angry. Just like you're being angry at us for being angry, we could be angry at Sony. Let's all be angry together. I mean, it's just not a good list. There's no way around it. I mean, I actually have proof of that. If you look down at the description of this YouTube video, you'll see that there's 3 links. They go to Gamefaqs top 100 lists that are chosen by the players, not by IGN or something like that. These are voted in by the video game players, and you compare those lists to what's actually on the respective classic. So let's look at the NES list, okay? Pull up that link down there, and you'll see that there's 12 games that overlap on the top 20 of the top 100 NES games and the NES Classic Edition. Okay, 12. Let's look at the Super NES list, okay? So on the Gamefaqs Super NES page, there's 11 games that overlap on that top 20 versus on the Super NES Classic. Now let's look at the PlayStation list of games. Okay, look at the PlayStation Gamefaqs page and compare it to the actual PlayStation Classic game list, and there's 4 games that overlap. 4 versus 11 versus 12. That's just proof that they just didn't know what they're doing. They didn't get it right. 4 out of the top 20 games voted in by the fans, the top 20 games for the PlayStation. That's just not acceptable to have only 4. So there's good games on the list. I mean, at least those 4, and there's other good games on the list. But guess what, guys? This is a $100 system. The NES Classic was $60. The Super NES Classic was $80. The PlayStation Classic is $100. So I'm paying more money, in some cases almost twice as much money, for much less quality games. No, that's not acceptable. And people are complaining like, "Oh, Matt, why don't you just mod it?" Everyone mods their stuff. I don't like to mod my stuff. I like to keep my stuff original. I think that they should give it to us right from the beginning. What's wrong with that? Not everyone knows how to mod stuff. Not everyone wants to mod stuff. Not everyone has the morals to mod stuff because they think it's breaking the law. So don't give me that excuse that I need to mod it, because I don't want to mod it. I want to keep it like I bought it. And then people are saying, "Oh, well, the Crash Insane Trilogy came out. They don't want to compete with themselves." That's no excuse. Crash Bandicoot, either 1, 2, or 3, or all of them for that matter, should be on the PlayStation Classic because it's a classic PlayStation game. It's not the PlayStation kind of classic in some mediocre list. It's the PlayStation Classic console. Remember Crash Bandicoot, who was at Nintendo's headquarters with the megaphones talking about how Nintendo sucks and stuff like that? He was their unofficial mascot. So he needs to be on that list somehow. I don't even care if you put Crash Team Racing in that list. Just get Crash on there somehow and replace like Rainbow Six or Destruction Derby or something like that. I mean, he has to be on there. For Castlevania, yeah, I understand. If Konami didn't give you the rights to the game because they have a new one coming out, there's nothing you can do about that. I mean, that's just leave it off. Fine, I get that. But Crash, no. Sorry. No excuse for that. So, and people are saying that I don't have a right to be angry. Yes, we all have a right to be angry. We need to let Sony know that we're angry so that they know this isn't acceptable. Otherwise, they'll just keep giving us crap, and I don't want that. I want to have a good experience when I buy this thing. If I buy this thing, I'm still undecided. I have a pre-order. I don't know if I'm actually going to continue with the pre-order. But anyway, that's all I have to say about that. I'm just going to let it go. And I just want to leave this video on a positive note. Check out up here. Sony did add some new pictures of the PlayStation Classic today to their Flickr page. And this thing does look absolutely gorgeous. The hardware on this thing, the game list not so good, but the hardware of this thing is really nice. They added like 4 or 5 new pictures. It's beautiful, beautifully done. So I do give them props for that. But yeah, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. That's all I have to say about the subject. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.